believe that today, that there are those here that don't know the Lord. I just got a feeling that that's the case here today. Like I said, I don't know anybody here today, but you know the Spirit will lead you and He'll guide you and He'll show you things that you need to know, and especially His man of God that's getting ready to deliver His Word. Now, I don't know what your situation is here today. I don't know what you've been through, lost. I don't know what you've been through, Christian. But what I do know is we serve a God that sits mighty and high upon the throne, that knows everything about us and has all answers to every question that we have.
That's right.
Amen.
But our problem is today we have a lot of different perceptions on things. You know what I mean? Have you ever noticed how some people can go to the job that you work? Where do you work at, mate? Toyota plant. How many people's there? About 1,500 people. I want to bet, if I was a betting man, that not everybody that comes through them doors is smiling all the time. But I guarantee you there's some that do. Have you ever seen people like that talk?
That's right.
You go to work and everyone working the same job. You got the same bosses. You got the same equipment that you're using. But yet some people will walk in their frowny face and some people will walk in there every day with a smile on their face. Have you ever wondered what's going on there? I've been that frowner. I went to work and I'm thinking this ain't a good place to work. And yet this guy, Todd Webb, comes in there and he's chipper and he's smiling every day. Well, what's the deal? His perception about that job is different than mine, even though it's the same job. Same place, same bosses, same equipment. I want you to know today that's the same way that we are with God. Have you ever noticed that Christians that come to church, they always smiling, they always happy. You know that they just came through a hard time, and yet they smile. Yet they stand up and they praise the Almighty God. And yet you come, and you really ain't had a hard way to go. And you don't feel like smiling. Why? I'm going to tell you, man, because your perception of God is different than what theirs is. If we will ever get to the point, Todd, that we realize that we serve a mighty God that holds everything in His hands, that there's not one situation, not one storm, not one battle that you'll go through, if we'll just get in our mind that when the waves are over our head, they're under His feet.
Praise God.
If we can ever come to that point like the three Hebrew boys, that when we know that we're getting ready to face the fiery furnace, that if we can ever get the perception that either way, whether we live or whether we die, whether you throw us in there, we're not going to bow. Why? Because our perception is we serve a mighty God that's greater than any king of this earth.
That's right. Hallelujah.
Lord of mercy. Lost. I want to tell you this before I get into the message. I know that your perception can be different than mine. And I know that it's hard to come to church when you don't know the Lord. But I want you to know that there's not one person, listen closely, there's not one person sitting in these seats today that deserves to be there. There's not one person sitting in these pews today that are righteous today by their own account. There's not one person in this place today that has done anything worthy to be called a Christian. It's by the Son of God that died on an old rugged cross. It's the only reason that I can stand here today and say I've been set free by sin. I know your perception is not, they're looking at me. They're judging me. I'm telling you, we're not today. We love you today. God loves you today. God is calling out. You're here because God has called you to be here today. You woke up this morning with a decision to make of where you would go, and you chose to come here. God, this day right here, before this service ends, I pray that God is going to shake you up. I pray that you're going to feel something that you've never felt before. I pray that you already have. I pray that you've already had your heart. I mean, that's the Spirit of God, and He's working with you. It's time that God shake you up a little bit. Church, it's time that God shake us up a little bit.
That's more.
I remember whenever I was a little fella, that I used to stay with my grandfather. Mighty man of God. Every morning I would sit there and watch him get up.
That's more.
He'd make him some cereal. And then he'd go to the fridge and he'd grab the orange juice out. How many remember the old Donald Duck orange juice cartons?
That's more.
He'd reach in there, brother.
That's more.
He'd grab that carton of orange juice. And man, there he would go. He'd start shaking it.
That's more.
Now me, as a kid, I thought, why are you doing that? Why are you shaking that up? And one day I asked him, I said, Papa, why do you do that? Why do you grab that orange juice? And the first thing that you begin to do, you begin to shake it. He began to tell me, he said, son, if I don't shake up the orange juice, he said, all the content will lay on the bottom. I won't get as much pleasure out of that orange juice if I don't shake it up. I've got to shake it. I've got to get it moving. I've got to get that pulp coming up.
That's more. Amen, brother.
And I begin to think, man, ain't that the way that God needs to do us? Ain't that the way we are here today? How many here has ever got cough medicine? What does the Bible say? It says shake well. Why? Because all the medicine will lay at the bottom of the bottle. I'm telling you, as Christians here today, we're just like that. We've got all this love that God has given us, but where does it lay? It lays at the bottom of the barrel.
Come on. I want to do.
Why? Because we ain't letting God shake us.
Amen, brother.
Woo. Lord have mercy.
Praise the Lamb of God.
Had he not shook the orange juice, only thing when it came out was orange water.
That's more.
There's times, Brother Todd, that God is looking down and he's saying, I need a work done here.
That's more.
I need a work done here. But how many of us is willing to let God grab us? How many of us is saying, here I am, God, like Isaiah did? Whenever he said, hey! And he seen that the temple was full with his veil. And the angels were flying around, crying, holy, holy, holy. And he said, I need to send somebody. How many here is like Isaiah that would say, here I am, send me?
That's more. There you go, brother. Amen, brother.
It's time that we start shaking. It's time that we let God shake us. It's time that all that goodness and mercy and love that God has given us, that forgiveness that God has given, that non-judgmental that God has given you, it's time that you let God start shaking you. That way, the only thing that can come out of you is His love,
Amen, brother.
His mercy.
Praise God. Thank you, Jesus.
John chapter 5, verse 1. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there was at Jerusalem, I like this part, by the sheep market, a pool,
Praise God.
which is called in Hebrew the tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches.
It's more.
In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water.
Praise God.
For an angel went down a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. And whosoever then first, after the troubling of the water, stepped in, was made whole
Praise God.
of whatever disease
That's more.
he had. Let me set this up for you just a minute. We got this pool. I always found it odd why people was at this pool seeking to be healed
That's more.
and not at the temple. You see what I'm saying here?
That's more.
Why was people going to the pool when there was a temple right down the street? I guess it's kind of like this. Why does people go out here and seek all these other things, Brother Todd?
That's right.
Searching all these other places. When there's 15 churches that I probably passed coming down this road.
That's more. One Jesus.
You know why they went to that pool? took God's temple and they made it into a mockery.
Uh-huh.
There would be people that would bring lambs to the temple to sacrifice, and they would tell them, it ain't good enough. It's too skinny. You need to go down here to my cousin's and buy one of his sheep. And they would have to go down there to the cousin of one of the priests, and they would pay for a sheep what they would pay for a bull. So why was they gathering at this pool? Because God was no longer allowed to be in the temple anymore. I have went to churches where God has whispered in my ear and said, good luck. I went to churches that they called me to come preach revivals, and I've stepped into the doors and God has said, good luck. I've been trying to get in there for years. And I can't get in there. But good luck to you. Why was they going to a pool? Because that was the only hope they had. Here's this pool. 5 big porches that's built around it. And can you imagine when it says a great multitude, what that must have looked like? Wherever it says that there was a great multitude and he fed all the 5,000. Imagine this pool with 5 porches and 5,000 people. It's just called 5,000. Of lame, hot, withered, gathered at this pool. Can you say this with me? It's a fight. It's a fight for the fittest. This is what this looked like here. You had all these sick people that's lame. A certain time of year, the angel of the Lord would come down and he would trouble the water. Could you imagine what it looked like? What it sounded like whenever they seen that water was troubled? Can you imagine how many people was trying to jump in, the shoving, the fighting? It's a fight of the fittest. No doubt that they probably paid people if they had money to come and say, you grab me. When you hear that water trouble, you grab me and you throw me in there. I'll pay you good money. I'll do whatever it takes. I was sitting there last night and I thought, I wonder what it looked like when all these people laying around this pool, day, night, waiting. I thought to myself, I wonder what it looked like whenever a bird flew over and he dropped a twig in the pool. And they seen that water get a little trouble. Diving in there. No doubt people lay there and they died year after year. But on this day, listen to me. The 5 porches meant nothing without the pool. The pool meant nothing without the water. The water meant nothing without the angel of the Lord coming down and troubling it.
Amen.
And the angel of the Lord meant nothing without an almighty God that gave him authority to do so. Can you imagine on this day, all these people, maybe the angel had just came down and already troubled the water. But on this day, there was a man that was laying at that pool. He had been laying there for 38 years. Could you imagine how many here is 38 years old? Anybody in here 38? Anybody here 39, 40? Really? How old are you? 34.
Just a baby.
I'm 36.
36. Can you imagine what you've already been through, all this, and what you've already done in your life? All the things you've been able to do. Probably got kids, probably got big families, jobs. Went on many a vacation. Could you imagine if you spent 36 of them laying by a pool with no hope,
Been there.
having a fight to get to the edge? Day after day, you're looking in and you're seeing your reflection in that water. Just waiting. Just waiting. Maybe you have been there and the water had got trouble, and maybe you had tried to jump in and somebody has knocked you out of the way. After you waited there year after year. sin for way too long. You have laid there in misery thinking that nobody cares, that nobody wants anything to do with you. Year after year, you've watched people in your life get saved. Year after year, you've watched them get healed. Year after year, you have thought about making a relationship with God. And year after year, you have let your sin get in front of you. This is the way this man was. For 38 years he had laid there. But on this day right here, there was somebody that came walking through there. He didn't make no announcements. He wasn't prejudiced to who he was going to pick. He stepped up to this man and he said, "Wilt thou be made whole?"
Amen. Praise the Lamb of God.
I thought to myself, how do you answer that? I've been laying here for 38 years with no hope. Hour after hour, minute after minute. And here you come and you ask me if I want to be made whole. What's the first thing that he starts to do? He begins to give an excuse. Every time that I try to step in here, somebody jumps in front of me. Every time that I try to do this, Jesus simply looked at me and said, "Take up thy bed and walk."
Praise God.
After 38 years, this man laid on this bed. But on that day, whenever Christ said, "Take up thy bed and walk," he reached down and he grabbed his bed and he began to carry it. I am telling you today, sinner, I am telling you here today, lost, that the Son of God is walking through this church today. That the Holy Spirit is reaching down and touching your heart. He's sitting here, brother. Open the door, slamming it in your heart, trying to get you to let him come in. I'm telling you today that he's going to ask you to pick up your bed.
Amen.
One in Jesus.
He's going to ask you today before you leave here to pick up your bed.
That's small.
Pick it up!
That's small.
Don't wallow in your shame anymore. I'm here to rescue you. I am the great physician.
Amen, brother.
Amen.
One in Jesus. Praise
I am the peace speaker. I am the one they call wonderful. I am the one they call counselor.
Praise God. Thank you, Jesus.
He's the one that'll step out on the bow of your boat and speak peace to you. Today, he's going to walk through here and do that. Today, he's going to walk through and grab the orange juice cart and he's going to begin to shake it.
Praise God.
Well, I ain't know this because I know this. That wherever he went, he made a... Wherever he went,
Praise God.
he shook things up.
That's right.
One in Jesus. Praise God.
In the book of Mark,
One in Jesus.
it says that they went over to the other side of the sea, to a place called Gennesaret. Listen to me. It said that whenever he got off the boat, the people looked and they knew him. That's what it says.
Praise God.
And they knew him. Brother, they didn't come up and start asking him to heal people. I want to tell you what they did, okay? It says immediately, they began to go get the sick, the withered,
Thank you, Jesus.
those that were hopeless. And it said that they began to lay them in the streets because he was getting ready to walk through the city. And they began to lay them in the streets,
That's the law.
one after the other.
Praise God.
And it said that whenever he began to walk through the city, it said that these lame people and sick people
That's the law.
began to put out their hand like this.
Hallelujah.
They began to put out their hand like this.
One in Jesus.
That they could just touch the hem of his garment.
Praise God. One in Jesus.
How did they know to do that?
Praise God.
How did they know to reach out their hand
That's the law.
and to just touch him?
One in Jesus. Praise God.
3 miracles over, there was a woman that made her way through the crowd
Praise God.
who had been sick for 12 years, who had spent every dime that she had.
That's small.
But she had it in her heart. If I could just get to him. garment, I'll be made whole. How many knows the rest of that story? So why was they laying there with their hands? Because wherever Jesus goes, he shakes things up. Wherever Jesus goes, there's going to be a miracle. Wherever Jesus goes, there's going to be a sinner that's going to be saved by grace. So here he comes, walking through that city. It didn't say that he reached down and touched them, but it said that they began to touch the hem of his garment. Could you imagine what a scene that would be out here in front of this church? If you went from here back out to 23 of nothing but lame people, and the Son of God began to walk down the road, and as he was walking, these sick people began to put out their hands. Could you imagine what it looked like with me as he was walking? That Bob here that you know that ain't walked in 23 years, begins to stand up behind him, begin to walk. Could you imagine with me? I see you over here that you know ain't been able to get on her feet in a long time. But as he's walking by, she touches the hem of his garment. Can you imagine with me the trail of people that followed him? Brother Todd, it says that it didn't only happen in that city.
That's right.
Bless the Lord.
It said that it began to happen throughout the whole country.
That's right.
In every town, every city. Do you see how he shakes things up? Do you see what he can do for you here today? Every town, every city that he began to walk through, they just begin to put out the seed. And he began to touch it. Here's the thing. You ain't going to get healed if you continue on the porch.
That's right.
Bless the Lord. Indeed.
We say, well, I'm going through some financial trouble. It ain't going to get fixed sitting on the porch.
Bless the Lord.
Well, I've done been to the doctor. They done told me I'm just going to have to deal with it. You ain't going to get healed if you're sitting on the porch.
That's right.
Well, I tried, and I'm a sinner, and I just can't make it. Let me tell you, you're not going to get no help sitting on the porch. You hang around the sick long enough, you'll become sick. You hang around the ungodly long enough, you'll become ungodly.
That's right.
I remember, Brother Todd, that whenever I was a young guy, a young minister growing up, in my church, and I'm sure there's probably people like that in this church. There was one sister. Her only goal was to tell you how bad her day is.
Praise the Lord. I know,
You go to church, and you say, I'll just use a different name, I don't use a name. You'd say, hey, Sister Cindy, how you doing? That there's a big mistake when you say that. How are you doing? Because that opens up the floodgates, Brother Tom, to tell you every problem that she's had that week. And if you hang around her, she'll tell you for the rest of the month. I had in my mind one day, one Sunday, I thought, I ain't going to go, Sister Cindy. If I see her come, I'm going to go the other way. Because what she would do, she'd bring me down. So I was trying to dodge her. I'm going, if Sister Cindy was on this side, I was on this side. Sister Cindy come that side, I'd come over on this side. And somebody got me, and they was talking to me, and I went to turn around, and guess who was right there?
Bless you, Lord.
I bet you'll never guess what the first words out of my mouth were. Well, hey, Sister Cindy, how you doing today? There's people. They ain't got nothing to say unless they speak. What do you mean? I'm telling you there's Christians. They ain't got nothing to say unless they sick.
That's right.
We have Christians, Brother May. They ain't got nothing to say unless they got something to complain about. What has happened to the godly people that wake up every morning, whether they're sick or whether they ain't, to reach up and say, God, I love you for who you are.
Amen.
I ain't worried about my sickness. I ain't worried about my bills. You know what? This says, the Bible says, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let me rejoice and be glad in it.
That's right.
It ain't my day, it's His day.
Amen.
And He made it.
Amen.
You can sit at this pool all you want to. You can go another year. But I'm telling you, as that sister gets ready to come sing,
Lord.
I'm telling you that you will lay there and lay there until you die. And there's going to be an opportunity missed.
Yes, Lord. Indeed.
Don't you hate it? Whenever somebody invites you to come do something, and it's something that you know that you would enjoy, but throughout your day you decide, no, I think I'll pass. So you go home and you call them and say, I don't think I'll make it today. So they go on to the event, and the next day, your phone starts ringing. And they begin to tell you everything that you missed. There was something that happened there that'll never happen again.
Yes, Lord.
That was the best ball game that Lawrence County ever played. And immediately you have regrets. Immediately you think, gosh, I wish I would have been there. Gosh, I wish I would have went. And you know what? You know every day that you're gathered around a bunch of men and they start talking about ball games, guess what? That ball game's going to be brought up.